Hello everyone. Today I will present to you one of the most interesting episodes of the entire series, although I am sure you are going to appreciate the next one, given your reactions to the previous video. This episode will concern the human state of being in the good, what can be called eudaimonia, or also heaven. Let us begin. Every entity has an end. This has become pretty clear by now. Naturally, humans too have an end, and therefore are able to be in that end. But since humans are conscious entities, the question is, what does this state look like? Well, first of all, in order to reach the state of ultimate happiness, you have to die. You cannot reach heaven within this life, and the reason is simple. Heaven, as we defined it, is nothing but the state of contemplating goodness itself while being in it. But goodness itself is ultimate, it is infinitely good, and therefore lacks any evil. It is however impossible to free yourself from every and all evil within this life. Heaven can therefore not be reached within the lifespan of a human. We are, however, able to reach heaven, because otherwise this whole talk would be based on nothingness. We have said that humans have an end, and that can move towards that end with virtues, therefore we must be able to reach it at some point. But if we can't reach it in this life, as it is full of evil, we must be able to reach it when this life ends. In other words, after death, when the form of humans will be detached from the body. Now, what does heaven actually mean? It is, as we said, the state of being in goodness itself. It is necessary to understand this state as a perpetual act. Taking a gigantic leap backwards, everything can be understood in terms of act and potency. If heaven was a passive state of being, one where you just stay here enjoying your surroundings, then it would be described as potency to be outside of goodness. This is obviously nonsensical, because goodness cannot be static, or it would be limited. It is therefore necessary to say that heaven consists in an act, an operation. It is an operation of the intellect, and not of the senses, because it can be achieved only after death, and after death there's no body, and therefore no sensitive powers. Finally, we can understand that heaven consists in the sole perpetual contemplation of existence itself. In fact, goodness is existence, and heaven consists in a perpetual act of the intellect done towards goodness itself while being in it. Knowing this, what else could heaven consist in other than contemplation of existence?
But Thomas, if I know what existence is, am I not already contemplating it? You described existence as that which differentiates something from nothing. If I am aware of this definition, why am I not already in heaven?
You may know what existence is, yes, but contemplating its essence is a completely different thing. In fact, you cannot properly know the essence of something without experiencing it. For example, imagine a blind man who has never seen colors in his life, yet has studied them. He can accurately describe all of light's properties, without flaws. He knows the exact wavelengths of every color in existence. Now compare this to a kid looking at a rainbow. Which one knows better what color is? Obviously the kid, because experiencing something is much more important than merely knowing it. Concluding this talk, heaven is not what most people think. It is not a place where you have whatever you desire. It is not a pretty garden with flowers and other nice stuff. It isn't even a state of extreme and maximum pleasure. And it definitely isn't a material place. All heaven truly is contemplation of existence. Nothing more, nothing less. There's another question we need to answer, however. What if we don't reach heaven? Sure, we are able to reach it, as we said, but we definitely aren't guaranteed to. One may possess virtues which can direct him towards goodness, but one also may not, and be inclined towards a completely different point. What happens then? What happens if you are not directed towards goodness when you die? We will have a lot of fun next time. Until then, be well.